have for you in this video is a thing I'm calling Battle Drills. Battle Drills is a video series designed for polygamers like myself as a quick reference to rules that you already know and you've played, or perhaps a quick reintroduction to some rules interactions you might have forgotten with time away from the game. So whether you're coming back from a bolt action binge and you want to jump into some Spectre, or you're done playing a 9th Age tournament and you want to play some Ultra Combat, these series of videos are designed to help bridge that gap between the rule systems to get you on the table playing the games you love. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to demonstrate the very basics of Spectre Operations. If you have the rulebook, you can follow along in the second edition of Spectre Operations in the appendix on page 149. So what we have on the battlefield is 2 cost operatives on your left and 3 professional French Foreign Legion soldiers in the building on your right. They're going to roll for initiative. The elite operators have a command of 5, so on 1d6 adding the roll, so they'll have a 6. And the professional soldiers have a command of 3. So 6, so tie. So they would go again. Operators will have the initiative in this turn. And now we're going to move on to the next phase, which will be the command phase. So with the beginning of the command phase, the elite operatives have no commands to give, while the professional soldiers, they're going to place one of their soldiers on Overwatch to try to mitigate the fact that they do not have the initiative. With this phase over, we're going to move on to phase 3, movement and tactical actions. So the cost operatives are going to do a tactical move. So instead of moving their 6 inches, they're going to move their agility. And their agility is 5. This is also going to give them a bonus +1 to their defense. So it's going to make them harder to hit. So we're going to move them up. And 5 inches will get him to right here. And this soldier right here will just come around the corner and stay right there. And now for the tactical actions for the professional soldiers. It's worth noting that the French Foreign Legion soldiers over here had one guy in Overwatch. He chose not to spend his Overwatch, thinking that putting him on Overwatch reduced the movement of the cost soldiers and kind of forced them to go into rain. So that's an option that you have, and that's one way you can mitigate just kind of getting bum rush when you don't have the initiative. So with that, we're going to do our tactical moves. Everybody's going to elect to do a tactical move except for the Foreign Legion soldier who is on Overwatch. So he's going to move his agility right around the corner, and he's going to move up here into better cover. Now we're going to go on to phase 4, everybody's favorite phase, combat. So to begin the combat phase, we have this cost operative who's going to take a shot at the exposed French Foreign Legion soldier. So he's 50% out of cover, so this is going to be less modifiers than these 2 guys who are 10% out of cover. Alright, so he is going to take a shot, and he's going to add his D6 score with his modifiers to a shoot score of 6. So he rolled a 6. Now, we're going to add the modifiers. We're going to check to see what range interval he's in. Actually, he is out of the first range interval for a carbine, so he will not be getting his +1 for compact, his +1 for a red dot sight, or a laser sight, and his +1 for his lasers. So he won't be getting +3 is what he thought he was going to get. So he's sitting at a 12 total score right now, with 50% in cover. That's going to drop it down for a modifier, and then no additional modifiers. Because if you remember, that soldier did not move, or he did not tactical move. He stayed still for Overwatch. So now the French Foreign Legion soldier is going to try to beat that score of an 11. So that French Foreign Legion professional soldier, is defensive score, or defensive value is a 2. So he does not beat it. All his advantages for staying still and being elevated are for him to shoot, not necessarily for him being defensive. Alright, so we're going to now roll a lethality roll, and it's a carbine. So on a 4-up, that French Foreign Legion soldier is killed. And it is a 4. So he will get removed as a casualty, and we are going to add 1 suppression token to this fire team. Alright, so suppression token added, and we're going to move on to the next cost operative. So the cost operative standing behind the fish barrels is going to take a shot at the French Foreign Legion soldier down there. We're going to check for his range interval. He is shooting a carbine, so it's going to be 16 inches. It is within range. So he is now going to roll a d6. He rolls a 6. Alright, so that's going to bring his total value, because his shoot value, being an elite operative, is a 6. So he has 12. Now he's getting +1 for the carbine, +1 for the lasers, and +1 for his reflex sights. I'm sorry, I keep calling it reflex. It's a red dot. So +1 for his laser, +1 for his red dot sight. Those do stack. And then +1 for being a carbine. However, 10% of that model is only out of cover from that guy's vantage point. So his +3 against that -3, the modifiers will stay there. All right, and then we're going to try to beat that roll of a 12, and we're going to get +1 for a tactical move here and his defensive skill of 2. All right, so he goes to 4, and then he's going to go, and then we're going to add 2 to that for his normal defensive skill, and then add 1 to that for him moving tactically. 12 to 7, still going to get beat, and we're going to see if at a 4 up, that French Foreign Legion soldier will be killed. And he is. All right. So that soldier gets removed as a casualty. And we're going to add another suppression token to the 1 remaining guy left. Now, that is the end of the combat phase for the French Foreign Legion costs. I'm sorry, for the costs. Now we'll go combat phase for the French Foreign Legion. This French Foreign Legion soldier is going to take a shot at that cost operative. He's going to be 25% in cover, so it's going to be -2 to hit. He's also going to use his light squad machine gun. His compact light machine gun. So since he moved, it's going to be automatic, and it's going to be -1 to take 3 shots. However, he's in the first range interval and it's compact. So that's a +1, -1. Those 2 are going to negate. So the only modifiers to this roll are going to be what it is for the soldier being in 25% of the soldier being exposed, since he is shooting through 2 pieces of terrain there. All right, take the dice roll, and these dice are rolling hot today. So you have, now we're going to add our modifiers. When we add our modifiers of -2, this becomes a 0, so the overall value is a 5, since his inherent shoot value is a 5. This dice roll is going to get dropped down to a 4, and we're going to add a 5 for his shoot value for a total of 9. And this dice value is going to be down to a 4, bringing a total of a 9. Now we're going to make the defensive rolls for the cost operative. So this cost operative, he's an elite operative, so his defensive value is a 3, and he tactically moved for a 4. So he is automatically going to beat that, even if he rolls a 1, or he's going to tie or beat it, so that's good enough. And now we have to roll a 5 or higher to try to beat that. And we do with a 6. So he dodges that bullet, and he's going to have to roll a 5 or higher to beat that. He does not. So now we're going to make a lethality roll. And now we're going to show the effects of body armor. So for the sake of this scenario, the French Foreign Legion soldiers, for whatever reason, were not wearing body armor. All right, so the cost operative is, however, so a normal lethality roll here is a 4 up. But since he's wearing body armor, it's going to be a 5 up. Add 1 to your lethality roll, +1 to the lethality roll. So he does not die. So here's the point where our gaming group, we don't use the bleed out table. We'll just assign him a wound marker, and then the next time he gets wounded, he's taken out of action. So that's one way you can do it. That seems to be, for us, an easier way to manage when we have about 10 to 20 models on the table and not worrying about bleed outs, and then we have medics able to heal that bleed out. All right, so he gets his bleed out token. He is wounded. We're going to add our suppression markers. So it's going to be 3 shots, so it's going to be 3 suppression points. However, those cost operatives, their command value is a 5. So they're not going to be affected at this time. So this is the end of the turn. So that's all phases of the game. A very basic overview. So you have the initiative phase, the command phase, the movement phase, and the combat phase. And at no point in that phase did anybody get equal to suppression to their command value. Command value is a 3, command value is a 5. They were only at 2 and they're at 3. So what happens is these suppression points wipe away and nobody gains a suppression level. So what's going to happen if this game were to continue? There would be a roll-off between the French Foreign Legion and the Coss, and then the winner would take initiative, and we repeat steps 1 through 4 as we just did. I hope this served as a good primer of the very basics of the rules of Spectre. We'll go into more situational Spectre, some situational rules, but I wanted to cover the quick reference guide and provide a quick video of the gameplay of how this game plays out. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick overview of Spectre Operations. Again, we just went over how the game flows for the quick reference guide, and feel free to watch this video before. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. The intent of this video is for people like me who play multiple games, just to provide you a quick couple-minute video on the basics of a game as you jump back into one game to another. So for me, I was just playing 7 Days Over the River Rhine. I hope you enjoyed this video. The intent for this video was to provide a primer, whether you're new to Spectre or if you're off playing Bolt Action and you're going to go this weekend and go play Spectre from Bolt Action or from any other game system, just to give you a quick overview of the rules, quick refresher of all the basic mechanics, and in further videos we're going to go over some situational rules, what I like to call situational Spectre. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.